Hey guys, Tim the Blacksmith, welcome here. It's always great to have you, but today I'm super excited to show you what we've been working on behind the scenes for a couple months now, and that is to be able to offer to you, the community that's forming here, Timothy Dick line of axes. It's not axes right now, it's just this one model, which is the Hudson Bay style axe. So I thought it would be pretty cool to show you a little bit of what goes into the making of it and what we've got going on. We've got them in all different stages. Got handles formed up here, heads that are ready for grinding. These ones are sharp. We've got leather sheaths in the work. This is dusty. So at the end of this video, we're going to be doing our very first drop, which will be making available 12 of these. I'm so proud of these, not because of just what it is, but also the amount of work that's gone into this. Something that I'm hoping you walk away with at the end of today is with this transparency of what I do here and what you will be getting if you purchase one of these axes. I think it's something that's just super cool now with this YouTube channel that we're building here, this community, is that it allows me to show you really step by step what you're going to be getting and what it takes to build these things. I won't get into it in any big scale of things, but the words handmade, hand forged, handcrafted, all these types of things, they mean so many different things in different cases. So what I'm hoping today is with this video is just to become really transparent with what you're going to be getting and how it's made. I think how things are made is super important in these days, so you understand what it is you're buying into in a sense, right? So that's a little bit of what I'm looking forward to today. I want to show you what we're forging these guys out of, so we're going to quickly jump outside and I'm going to show you that. Let's get to it. So what we've been able to find, as you can see down here, there's a whole bunch of train rail. So what's absolutely fascinating about train rail is that they actually stamp or emboss the date of when it was made. It's a bit of a story, but I found a guy who had some from 1908. So this is part of it here. We've already used quite a bit of it. So if you've been watching the channel for a little while, I did make a Hudson Bay axe out of it about a year or so ago. And that was sort of the birth of the idea to be able to start offering this to you. But here it is. This piece here is from the Great Northern Line, 1908. And I won't get into it too much, but the Great Northern, it's a super rare piece to have in Canada because the Great Northern is all in the States. But back around 1908, they tried to come up into a certain spot in BC that had a lot of natural resources that they wanted to bring down to the States. And so it was this big railroad tycoon kind of competition between the Canadian Pacific Railway and the Great Northern, trying to, like, it was actually literally fights at some points. They were only in Canada a very short period of time, so it's super rare to find that piece here. So that's a little bit of the background, but super exciting about it. So what we're going to do now is grab this piece or a piece like this, and I'll show you how it works. It's actually, whoa! So the rail does have a couple downers that are challenging to work with it, and that's the number one, is cracks. You got to be super careful because the top of the rail can form them from the train driving over them. So there's 3 different shapes that you get out of the rail for making an axe. So we cut the top off, then we cut the middle, and we cut the bottom, and we use all of those different ones to make the axe. The hardest one is actually the top, because I got to cut off a piece on this side where the rail's worn the most, just to make sure there's no cracks and stuff in it. But then it's a lot easier to forge it into the axe blank as opposed to the bottom. So I'm just going to start actually by turning this here. I'm going to zip off a good chunk here. Talk about transparency. Oh my goodness, guys, I ran out of oxygen and I can't cut this now. So what are we going to do? I don't have time to run it down to get more. So once they're cut, you grind the living daylights out of them to make sure there's no cracks or anything like that for the tops. And then we're going to stick that one in the forge, or this one. and then we'll forge it into shapes like this, basically, which will be the axe blank. So let's get this thing running, and then we'll go from there. This is the upsetter, this machine here. I bought it over a year ago. Did a video of when I first got it. I'll link it up here, whichever side it is. And I bought it with the intent to be able to set it up and make axes like this. It was a huge risk because I've never seen one used before at that time. And it's working out really great for us. We've put a ton of time, like a ton of time into setting up the tooling to get these axes to be a little bit more fluid off of here. It does help huge. It's a little bit underpowered sometimes on not the pushing, but actually on the lifting up. It gets stuck when we do the slitting. I still haven't got it hooked up properly with the supply of basically enough air. I got a tank actually outside the door here, and I just got to plumb it in, etc. Just haven't had time. But yeah, it just works. You just drop it like this. It's just about dead up air right now. That's why it raises so slow, but very cool piece of forging equipment. You can slam, hit like a power hammer, press like a press. It's like this ultimate balance between a power hammer and a hydraulic press. Very cool. So So this is by far my favorite thing to do on this machine, is do the trimming. So we tuck it in here. Starts to give it some shape. So now at this stage, I'm going to do some hand work at the anvil here to start smoothing stuff up. And this is sort of a wild card on to how much time you have to spend here. Depends how close you were at the power hammer, etc. So I just start by smoothing up the front. Make sure I get a good bevel. Not really a bevel, but just that it's consistent so that when we grind it, we got a good spot, get a good edge. Gonna work up the sides. Hudson Bay axe has such a nice straight taper that you want to spend a little bit of time in this area. So now I look down the axe and start smoothing up these, I guess the top line. Also starting to straighten stuff up. Start to play on a really critical eye to get it straight and stuff. So I'm going to put another heat on it. Still clean up a couple more sections in here. And then I got to work on the back. And then we're going to go back to the upsetter to do a final cleanup after that. So pretty much got this finished up here. I don't know how much I've shown you on video, but I have gone back and forth quite a few times between the upsetter and the anvil here just to get things smoothed up. But that's pretty much what it looks like as it comes off the anvil. And so now at this point, I'm just going to let it cool off slowly. And then we would do the grind, stamp the 1908, the T, and then the serial number on it as well. We'll let that cool off. Let's go see what Martin's up to. So I'm just over here at the table. Martin is not even going to say hi to us because he's so busy getting these things done. So what he's working on right now is, check that out, sheaths. So this is the pieces that he's been cutting out here. And then these are the blanks here. Looks like a weird shape, but it all works out in the end. So because each axe is basically a little bit different in here because it's forged by essentially hand, you'd be surprised how in difference they are even with all that tooling. So anyways, Martin makes each one fit to each number so that when it clicks on, it's really tight. These are actually super tight right now because the leather stretches a little bit, but it's a ton of work to make each one fit. And then you can see here, so this is almost finished, just a little bit of cleanup to do. And then this is the finish with the wax on it or the oil, like that. We're using Chicago screws here. And that's instead of rivets, so that if you ever have to do any work yourself on it, simply take it apart with a screwdriver. It's not a big deal. Kind of a cool little perk. So Martin's doing a lot of the back end work on the axes with the grinding, making the handles, the sheaths, etc. So I'm really grateful for his help. He actually did one time say a word to me. Martin's pulling out the quality control on my forgings here. Guess I don't really want to say that publicly. Got an oddball here, it's a little bit longer. Not sure what's going on there. Those are all pretty good. So if we took that one out of the mix, it would actually look like I know what I'm doing. Ooh, nice. Is there any coffee in it? Oh, give it to me.
Maybe not.
Oh, not even a drop. Come on. No coffee. It's time to go home. I thought you were going to say at 9 o'clock. All right, let's focus back on what we're doing here. We got to stay focused. So what also is going on, and I guess I'm not going to be able to show it to you because we've already done it, but these have all been pre-fitted to each axe. So this is for axe 3, and they are shaped up. I don't know where axe 3 is right now. But we do all of that before we do the grinding and shaping of the handle because this is the most important part. And you don't want that to get screwed up after you've put all the work into this rest of it. So every single part of the axe all centers around the axe head. So right now I'm going to start cutting some of these and we're going to start fitting up, which is super exciting. And then also this will get trimmed after the fit up. It's nice to have a big surface to press on for putting the wedge in. Okay, so I'm just cleaning up this leather here. This is the axe, check it out. Super nice for, if you have to cut leather with your axe, you can do that. Maybe I'll just cut this one too, I guess. A little bit hard to get on there, hey? Watch the old fingers. Oh, that stuff is actually really hard to, look how small it is. And I'm just really weak, okay. So we're over here at the press. This is a 5-ton press with adjustable force, and we're using it to set the wedge, the black walnut wedge for the axe. So Martin just puts a little bit of glue in on the top, and we press it in. We're still fine-tuning the whole process here, but okay, so we have got a good amount of the axes done. When you're watching this, we'll have them all done. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, but it's a little bit weird with the vlog life. So I'm gonna start by putting on this finish. It's Odie's oil. This comes from my friend who runs a furniture company, and they use this on all their stuff. It's super, super good. And this has a little bit of a tint in it. So we're gonna darken the handles up a little bit. Some of the things that I haven't mentioned that I did the heat treat on the axe is I hardened the whole entire head and then I temper it so you get a solid, you know, you could grind theoretically that thing back as far as you need to and still have a hard head, and it also makes the back hard. Each axe comes with its own sheath. Martin tucked the serial number onto each sheath, so if you look on the inside you can see that your sheath goes with your axe. And Hudson Bay axe, classic axe to Canada. It's a really cool axe to use because it's sort of like the jack of all trades. It kind of sits between everything. So what that means is, you know, you can easily chop a tree down with this, but you can also, oh, I can't show you right now, but choke up, put your hand right under there, and that's super nice for splitting wood or getting in and carving things out a little bit. And then it's also got a really nice straight taper in the cross section of the blade. And that's super handy for splitting wood or kindling and stuff. I've built a lot of things for a lot of different people over the years, and I'm really excited to be bringing something that I'm myself am super pumped about. I hope you are as well. And just really excited to see what you guys think about the axes. We've worked really hard off camera to bring this to you today, so hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm just going to keep waxing these guys or oiling these guys. And we look forward to seeing you in the next video, and thanks so much for watching. So as of right now, I have 12 of these available on my website. I'm going to put the link at the end of this video and then in the description below. It's going to be a first come, first serve. These are going to be serial numbers 1 to 12. But what you're getting is you're getting the leather sheath, you're getting the axe, 100-year-old steel, completely hardened and tempered, hickory handle, walnut wedge set in there. These will ship out next week, so that they should arrive in time for Christmas. Thank you so much for watching. It's going to be it for me today. We'll look forward to seeing you next week in the next video, which is titanium tongs. Going back to the titanium, guys. So make sure to tune in for that. It's going to be an interesting video for sure. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching. See ya.